Hey everyone, how you all doing today? And welcome back to another meta guide. So we are in the Ultra League, ladies and gentlemen. The new season begins in a week. Let's go. So this is going to be the last week. Good luck to you, whether you're pushing for Legend, Expert, Veteran, Rank 20 for the Elite TM. Good luck to you. I hope you make your goals for this season. But yeah, we are in the Ultra League, so I already covered the Great League. Now, who knows what next season has in store for us, right? I have no idea. Now, by the time you're watching this, maybe it had already been revealed because I'm recording this ahead of time. I'm recording this the last Friday. So it is possible, right? Who knows? But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive right into it. So Great League, Ultra League, Master League, and Catch Cup. Which one are you participating in? So for the S rank, we do have the Zygote Complete. Let's go. I love using this Pokemon. Did he walk enough routes? Hopefully he did, because you need 250 to change it to complete form. And it's just such a powerhouse. Honestly, it does deserve a nerf because it's just so unfair. As long as it's not going up against hard walls like fairies and ice, it does well. You know, it does well. And Dragon Tail is powerful. I've been running Dragon Tail, Crunch, Outrage this season. I think previous seasons I had Earthquake instead of Outrage. But just such a bulky Pokemon and fantastic for the Ultra and even the Master League. Then we have Feraligatr, the Shadow Feraligatr, of course, really good. This season I have been seeing Ice Beam more than Crunch. Previous seasons I've been seeing Crunch. I think Ice Beam does really well. There's a lot of dragons, so I think it's a good option. And yeah, Hydro Cannon, Ice Beam, probably the way to go in this meta. And then we do have Malamar. So Malamar, I do have a decent rank one, but I never built it yet. Maybe for next season, but Psywave, just so good, so good. I mean, this Pokemon is actually pretty tanky in the Ultra League as well, which is pretty cool. Really, really good Pokemon. Can't wait to build it. Maybe for next season I'll do it, as long as it's not nerfed, but I don't think it's going to be nerfed. And then we have Clefable. I don't think they're going to nerf things that they've buffed this season. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll work on other moves, but I could be wrong. And then we have Clefable. Clefable, another really strong Fairy type, and of course it gets to the moves really fast. I see this more so in the Ultra than the Great League meta. Then we have Pango. Pango, yet another fighting type. I don't have one for the Ultra League, unfortunately. I wish I did, because I love using it in the Great League. It's a lot of fun to use. And then we have Lickilicky. So Lickilicky, I have a good rank one as well, so really happy about that. I use double nukes on it though, so Rollout as a fast move, and then Earthquake and Shadow Ball. Obviously it has Body Slam, which is a legacy move. You could go that route, but it's just such a weak move. It's mainly used just for baiting purposes. I like, in the Ultra League, I like the nuke moves. In the Great League, I would go with the Body Slam, but the Shadow Ball and Earthquake I think is really good coverage. And then we have Cobalion. Cobalian's been fantastic this season. Absolutely love to use it. Yeah, I mean, really fantastic Pokemon for sure. And then we have Primeape ever since it got Rage Fist during Community Day. Let's go. So Karate Chop, Rage Fist, Double Legacy, and then Close Combat. Generally the moveset you want. Now, it is a frail Pokemon, even in the Ultra League, but it does hit really hard as well. So really cool Pokemon, and yeah, all in all, really cool Pokemon. Whether you want the Shadow one or the regular one, both of them are good. And then we have the A rank. We do have a Shadow Machamp, or the regular Machamp. I like the Shadow one. Another, well, technically double legacy if you go Stone Edge. So Karate Chop is a legacy, and then Stone Edge is, you could go Rock Slide instead, but you probably want the Stone Edge for the Ultra League. And then it has Crush Chop as well. So yeah, I mean, a powerful Pokemon if you happen to have a good Shadow one, which I do. Well, I do for the Great League. Actually, no, I think I do for the Ultra League, though, as well. I think I do. I got a bunch of good Shadow Machamps. I just got lucky with that one. Registeel, it was nerfed. Maybe it's a little bit too high on the rankings, but I still think it's a good Pokemon, right? I mean, even if you're not going for the debuff, you're still hitting like a truck. And then we have Giratina. Giratina has always been good since Go Battle League began in the Ultra League. And it's Giratina Ult, it's still going to be really good. It's just so tanky. And then we have Registeel. It gets to the Stone Edge attacks really fast. Florges, Fairy Wind was boosted, so pretty decent Pokemon for the Ultra League now. It's always been good for the Master Premier, but for the Ultra League, pretty decent Pokemon to use. And then we have Drapion, a Shadow Drapion. It does have to watch out for any Mud Slap users, right? But really, really strong Pokemon, all in all, and the Crunch is really powerful. Love using the Shadow version. We do have an Astonish user. I think I put this a little bit too high on the list, to be honest. I mean, Drifblim is definitely better than Dusknoir, so I put this a little bit too high. Maybe I should have put Drifblim in this spot, but it is an Astonish user, and it is pretty powerful. So I've seen it a couple times, but I see Drifblim more so. And then we have Mandibuzz. Of course, Mandibuzz is so thick, and it's even more thick in the Ultra League compared to the Great League, right? And then we have Annihilate. So Annihilate, of course, was nerfed this season, but it came back this season because of Rage Fist, and Rage Fist is such a good move, but it still has counter. It's still stuck with counter. But it's still a good Pokemon, still a good move, all in all. Moving on to the B rank, we have Steelix. So Steelix, I do think, is pretty good. And I've actually seen it a decent amount of times this season. Breaking Swipe was nerfed a while ago, so you don't really want that, but you want Psychic Fangs and then likely Crunch on it. If Breaking Swipe is ever reverted and it comes back, you could run that. But then we have Virizion, another strong pick. I see this a lot of times with the Leaf Blade and Sacred Sword. Double Kick as well. Galarian Weezing, or the Shadow version of Galarian Weezing. I actually do have a good rank regular and Shadow one. Really, really good stuff. I guess those Brutal Swings so fast, doesn't it? Then we have Guzzlord. Guzzlord, another great Dragon type. Do you want Sludge Bomb on this one? Maybe. Sometimes I see it with Dragon Claw and Brutal Swing. Sometimes I see it with Brutal Swing, Sludge Bomb. I still see it with Crunch and Dragon Claw sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I've loved using this in the past. And then we have Gastrodon. Gastrodon deserves to be higher in the list, honestly. I've used it a decent amount of times this season. It's always does so well. There's always something that's weak to Mud Slap. It actually deserves to be a little bit higher. Probably in the S rank, I'm going to be honest with you. So, but it's still a really good Pokemon for sure. It just takes a big requirement. Drifblim, I finally got a decent Shadow one I'm able to use. Love using it. Love using it. Icy Wind to debuff. It does have Mystical Fire. I never see Mystical Fire on it. I always see Icy Wind Shadow Ball. Then we have Talonflame. Talonflame, a good Incinerate user. Then Cresselia as well. Now, what moveset do you want on Cresselia? Honestly, it's kind of hard to say. If you don't have Future Sight, you know, you're not going to have any play against Fire types. So you could go that route. Sometimes I see Future Sight Grass Knot, right? I've seen all moves combinations. I like the Future Sight Grass Knot, though. Just really depends on your team. Moving on to the other options. So it's going to be Aurorus as another ice type. I see this once in a while. Skunk Tank is a pretty good one. I think the Shadow one is the way to go. Goodra. You know, it's interesting. Goodra, pretty good Pokemon, but what moveset do you run? Do you run Draco Meteor on it in the Ultra League? Probably. You probably do, right? In the Ultra League. And then Aqua Tail or Thunder Punch. What do you think? Really depends on your team, I guess. Kommo-o. I feel like we have better Dragon Tail users, but Kommo-o is another option. Miltank, another rollout user. A couple more Dragon Pokemon, Dragalge and Dragonite. Dragonite, Shadow Dragonite I've used a lot. They just don't compare to Zygarde Complete. But I do like Shadow Dragonite a lot. Again, probably could have put this in the B rank to be completely honest, but that's okay. And then we have Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini did receive a nerf to Surf. Obviously, they nerfed Surf for Lantern, but it affects other Pokemon as well, like Tapu Fini. But Tapu Fini has Nature's Madness, so you still see this Pokemon for sure. Tentacruel, I absolutely love using this Pokemon. They've nerfed it, they've nerfed Scald, but it's still a good Pokemon, and I love using it. If I had a good Shadow one, I would build it for the Ultra League, but I don't. I have my Shadow for the Great League. Runavacus, another Pokemon we can all consider using. Then we have Skeledirge, and then Pidgeot, but you want Gust on Pidgeot. Moving on to the solid team options. So for the first team is a team I've hit Legend with in a previous season. Zygarde Complete, Shadow for Alligator, and Tentacruel. Now this season, I was talking to my friend Andrade, who is another streamer. He's an amazing streamer. And, you know, I'll leave his channel in the description down below, actually, so you can go ahead and follow him. I recommend following him. But, I was using this team previous seasons, Shadow for Alligator as a safe swap. He was using the Zygarde and the Tentacruel, but he was using Gastrodon instead, and I was using it, and then I started using it and started doing well with it. So you could try Gastrodon instead of the Gator if you have it. If you don't have Zygarde Complete, I think you could work with Dragonite or Guzzlord. I think those would be fine, but Zygarde is just the best Dragon type. I'm sorry, I know it's inaccessible, but it is what it is. It is the best Dragon type in my opinion. But yeah, really strong team. Obviously, this team does not want to see an Alolan Sandslash in the lead. It's very difficult to win if that's the case, because what are you going to safe swap into? I mean, if you have the Gastrodon, you can't go into the Gastrodon, so you got to go into Tentacruel. But if you go into Tentacruel, the Poison Jab attacks are resisted, and you kind of struggle. That's the thing. Like, if you're running the Feraligatr on the team and you switch into that, that's still going to be a problem because they'll safe swap out of the Sandslash, and then you're stuck later on with the Tentacruel or the Zygarde on that Sandslash. So it is tough, but it's not like you see that every single battle, right? Just a tough one there. And another team, okay, next team is going to be Galarian Weezing with Guzzlord and Dusknoir. Now, you could put Drifblim instead of Dusknoir on this team as the other Astonish user if you want to. I probably would, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think Guzzlord is a really fantastic Dragon-type Pokemon. I like using it. And I think this team could work out well. Next up, we have Pidgeot in the lead with Cobalion and Virizion. I believe a while ago, Housestock made this team, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't want Wing Attack anymore. Obviously, he was using Wing Attack before, but you want Gust now. Wing Attack was nerfed, so you do want Gust on the Pidgeot, which I believe is a Legacy move, or is it Feather Dance that's a Legacy move? I don't even know. When it comes to the charge attacks, you definitely want the Brave Bird. If you're running the Shadow Pidgeot, which I still want to get a good Shadow one, but if you're running the Shadow Pidgeot, you want the Aerial Ace. But if you're running the non-Shadow, I would say go with the Feather Dance. And then Cobalion and Virizion, of course, you could safe swap one of these. Maybe lure out a Primeape. Maybe lure out... Well, yeah. I mean, obviously Pidgeot does well against fighting types. Cobalion does not, but... yeah, let me know what you think of the team. I think that looks like a pretty good team. I actually want to use Pidgeot more next season with Gust. And another team we have Malamar in the lead with Lickilicky as a safe swap. And then we have Drapion. Obviously, Lickilicky really needs to lure out any fighting types. Yeah, I mean, and or possible Mud Slap uses, because they might respond with like a Gastrodon if you say swap Lickilicky, because it resists the rollouts, right? And then that way Drapion doesn't have to see the Mud Slap user. On the next team, we have Tentacruel in the lead with double fighting. So I put Machamp and Pangoro. Obviously, you could substitute this for like Primeape. Honestly, you could probably go Primeape and Annihilate if you wanted to. That could be a lot of fun. Or you could go Primeape and Pangoro or something like that. And then the next team is going to be Lickilicky in the lead, double Fairy, so Clefable and Florges. Now, it's not double Charm, it's double Fairy. Obviously, you could run a Charm user in place of one of these if you wanted to. But let me know what you think of these teams. Let me know which league you'll be playing this week, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.